In this video, you are going to learn how to solve multi-step equations. There are two steps to keep in mind. Step number one, variables go on the left. So variables are any letters, like if you see a x, a y, w, p, they go on the left side of the equation. And constants are just numbers by themselves. They go on the right side of the equal sign. Step two, divide. For this example, I'm going to first draw a line down the equal sign to show the two sides of the equation. So step one, every term that has the variable x need to be on the left side. So this negative 6 is already on the left side, so I'm just going to copy that down. But this positive 2x needs to move over to the left side, so I'm going to show that by crossing it out and moving it over. But this is a positive 2x, so whenever you need to move a term from one side to the other, you need to change the sign. So positive 2 becomes a negative 2. Now for the right side, the constants, this 9 needs to move over. So cross it out, this positive 9 will become a negative 9. And this negative 23 is already on the correct side, so we're just going to copy that down. Now let's simplify each side. Negative 6 minus 2 is negative 8x. Negative 9 minus 23 is negative 32. So everything that you see in the green shows the first step. Variables on the left and numbers on the right. And now we have an equation that we can just solve by dividing. And so we want to get x by itself, and x is being multiplied by negative 8, so we do the opposite, which is divide by negative 8 on both sides. Then we get x equal 4. For this equation, I'm going to start by drawing a line down the middle where I see the equal sign. And we want all the terms with the variable n to be on the left. So this 2n is here. I'm going to copy this. And this negative 3n needs to move, so I'm going to show that by crossing it out. And a negative, when we move it over, it's going to become a positive 3n. And on the right side, we want just the numbers by itself. So this positive 2 needs to move, and so positive is going to change to a negative. And this 1 is already on the right side, so just go copy it down, but this is a positive 1. I'm going to show that it's a positive 1 by writing a plus 1. And so now we simplify each side. We have 2n plus 3n, which is 5n. And negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Step 2 is to divide. Divide by 5. Divide by 5. And we have n equal negative 1 divided by 5 is going to be a decimal, so I will leave that as a fraction, negative 1 over 5. First thing, draw the line down the equal sign, and we want to have all the p on the left side. So this 3p is already in the correct place. This 5p need to move over, so this 5p is positive, bring it over, becomes negative 5p. On the right side, we want just constants. And the only constant that we have, the only regular number, is this negative 8, which needs to move. And so a negative comes over, will become a positive 8. And that's it. And so not always you have to have two terms on each side. It just depends on what the equation looks like. So here we have 3 minus 5 is negative 2p. And here all we have is this 8, so bring it down, and then the second step, which is to divide by negative 2 on both sides. And so we have p equal 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. And for this example, we want to have all the x's on the left side, and the only thing that we have with an x is this negative 3x here, so I'm going to copy this down, negative 3x. On the right side, we want just the numbers, the constants. So this -2 need to move over. Negative becomes a +2. And this -11 is already on the right side, so we can just copy it down. So on the left side, we have -3x. On the right side, we have 2 minus 11, which is -9. And then step 2, divide by -3, so we can get x by itself. -9 divided by -3 is +3. And for this example, we want all the variables on the left side, which we already have. So can you write this down? P. And the constants we want on the right side, so this -2 needs to move over, becomes a +2. And the 7 is already on the correct side, so it can stay here, +7. So combining the two sides, we have P and 9. And the step 2 tells us to divide, but you notice here, we don't have any numbers that's being multiplied to the P to divide by. So we are already finished, and this is our answer. So for this example, since you have already seen 5 previous examples, I'm sure you can just spot which is the only term that we need to move here, which is the 7, okay? So the 7, because it's a constant, it's on the wrong side. So once we move the 7, you notice how everything is already in the correct place. And so we can save time by simply moving it instead of having to copy everything down. And so let's bring down our answer. N equal -12 minus 7 is -19.